How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and we are reacting to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 16, Afterlife, which is a pretty scary title, but it could be a punny title. But you can't. Afterlife is you can't make a pun on that. It could just be a metaphor for, oh, my life didn't really begin until blah, 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 or, that was my life, but now this is my second life, this is after your life. That could be related to S.H.I.E.L.D. This is our second life. I don't know. Maybe? That's the only thing I can guess. Let's get into it. Okay, so where to even start this one? I want to say right off the top some blanket statements. First of all, I am not pro-Democratic S.H.I.E.L.D. They're not great. They're not just as bad. They are a flavor of bad. But yes, I understand that. They're not great. I'm not arguing that they are better in a substantial, amazing way. My main argument is solely Coulson has alien blood in him. He cannot be director. End of sentence. That's it. He cannot. He has alien blood in him. Once you have alien blood in you, I wouldn't say that S.H.I.E.L.D. should be able to be director either. They shouldn't be killed, but that doesn't mean they should be allowed to be director. If they are not 100% human, they should not be allowed to be director. We don't know. We don't know. There's no telling that he is not a messenger for the Kree to come down here and just kill all of us, or something else. We have no idea. We have no idea that his memories are not going to fucking come back and cause him to kill everybody on the crew again. There's no certainty of that. And we've seen it happen already. So, fuck no. Absolutely cannot be. And I'm really worried that the show is leaning towards a direction where Coulson is going to end up still being the director. And I'm very interested to see how they're going to try and get me on board with that. Because unless they get all the alien DNA out of him, which I don't know how they would do that. So, I'm going to go ahead on an off chance and say that I'm not... If he is... Oh, man, I don't know. If he's director after this, it's going to be some interesting reactions, because I cannot see how they're going to get me to want to root for Coulson as director anymore. As an agent, sure. And even then, he's been pulling some wild shit these past couple episodes. If he has nothing to hide, then he should just turn it over. He's doing all of this because he's acting like he's going to be director afterwards. And I know a lot of people are going to justify what he's doing here, but you can only justify what he's doing here if you want him to be director. So, ultimately, if that's going to be your justification, then I don't accept it. But yeah. I went pretty hard on my, again, kill Coulson gut reaction in the episode. But, again, that's because I'm putting myself in the shoes of Gonzalez when I'm saying that. Everything that Coulson is doing is definitely making him seem completely evil. The way that they've gone about all this is definitely the wrong way. But it's never made them seem evil or anything. As I've been saying throughout the whole time, ever since we didn't even know it was S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything, but just ever since Bobby and Mac have been keeping the secret, I've known that, clearly it's not that bad. It's not evil. It's not it's not for nefarious reasons. Clearly there is good intentions behind all this, even if they're definitely going about it in the wrong way. And again, I've been saying that since we first learned about the secret of Bobby and Mac. Whereas with Coulson, I can't really say it's the same thing. I can't really say that he has good intentions for a lot of what he's doing here. What he is doing seems to be so that way he can stay director, and I don't think that's good intentions. I think that is very bad intentions. And, yeah, I just... what else did I say? And on top of all this, as Gonzalez said himself, Coulson himself told May to kill him. And again, all this has changed because, oh, I'm fine now. But just because you say you're fine now doesn't mean you're fine. You can't just be like, it's all good, it's okay. Again, if he's an agent, that's fine. I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to be the anti, any kind of special gifted person. Let him be an agent. Let him still be on the team. We can handle that level of danger, but he should not be in a position where he's making that much calls and everything. Especially being the only one. That's crazy. Like, again, as we were talking about last episode with, I think it was last episode, with everybody talking about how much Coulson has changed in personality-wise. Like, Coulson's team is, very loyal to him, but they've all, aside from May, met him post-death. So, like, I can't really trust them, I can't, Simmons and Fitz, it's cool that they're this loyal to them, but it means nothing to me because they've not known him post, or pre-death. May's the only one who has, and May is also the only one being logical about this and going like, yeah, you're kind of right, Coulson maybe doesn't deserve to be director exactly, but he doesn't deserve to be killed. So let me be on the board, and then now, like, and that's, again, another point in Gonzalez's box of putting May on the board, because he knows that if May's not on that board, they're all going to vote for Coulson to get killed, and he doesn't want that to happen, even though I wouldn't blame him for it. I think the biggest thing about the other S.H.I.E.L.D., about Democratic S.H.I.E.L.D., is just their strong stance of basically being fine with killing all powered people. Gonzalez says he doesn't want to have to do it, but he's also like, I don't blame whatever bald head guy for going to do that. Which, by the way, thank you for the comment. I said I mentioned last episode how I was like, it's interesting they didn't have him on the ship, but that's right. Him and Weaver were both at the academy. But yeah, he was fine with that guy just shooting Sky. He's totally fine with Sky being killed if they have to. He's like, it's not what I want to do, but it's probably what we're going to have to do. And, like he specifically said, he was totally fine with the guy shooting her if Sky was looking at butterflies or playing with butterflies or whatever. So, I definitely don't agree with that side of things. That's definitely some extreme stance to be taking, like Simmons. But again, as I said, I might be looking back on this moment way later and saying, you know what, maybe they're right. Maybe we should kill them all at this point, and just, because it could just get way out of hand and be even way worse. But, what can you do? What can you do? Is it right to just commit genocide? I mean, well, it was before I was going to say, like, as a genocide when it's only a few of them. But, I mean, it would be, because the Inhumans we now know are a lot. There's a hell of a lot of them. But yeah, it's, The thing is that just everybody in this series is crazy. There's not a single person in this series who is not crazy besides May and Cal. I think May and Cal are the only two sane people in this entire series. To a degree, they're also crazy, but they're the most sane in this insane world. And, like, okay, I don't even know where I want to go with this. Let's talk about the Inhumans. Oh boy, everything. I don't even know where to start with Jiang. Like, I don't know where I even want to begin. I want to talk, like, the Reyna thing. I'm saying, don't kill Sky and don't kill Coulson. I mean, with that one, it's his actions more than who he is. But, yeah, I've been saying that, we should be protecting them. We shouldn't just be killing them just because they're dangerous and all that. But that is much different from someone like Reyna, who is a straight-up murderer. And it's different from, if she had murdered, like, a couple people, then it's like, okay, she could be rehabilitated. I'm totally for rehabilitation. But when you get in the double digits, when it gets in double digits, I think your life is forfeit. When it's double digits of non-self-defense murder, you can't, death sentence. I am fine with it. I don't care. I am pro death sentence if it's upwards of double digits. Fucking, I don't care. At that point, it should be unforgivable. You've had too many chances. You had double digits of chances to stop doing it. And Reyna, although she has only killed specifically herself a certain number of people, I don't know off the top of my head how many it is. I would guess to be under 5 or something. But she has attempted to kill and been involved, like, gotten indirectly people killed purposefully. Like, she got them killed indirectly, but she knew it was going to happen, and she wanted it or didn't care if it would happen. So, she has killed double digits of people just through her indirect actions, or she has tried to certainly kill many, many, many people. She just very rarely is given the chance to. But yeah, so absolutely fuck Reina. Fuck Jiang. Just all these asshole, fucking immoral, inhuman pieces of shit. Like, rehabilitation is one thing, but it's completely different for the leader of your country, essentially. Like, that's, you know, I'm trying to equate it here. Think about it like this. The leader of your country telling you that you are the same as a serial killer. You are one and the same. No difference. You're all the same. That's, no. Even if you're trying to do it all, we're all humans, baby. Like, you don't do that. You don't, like, point out a specific citizen and be like, you are the same as this fucking serial killer. God, fuck you, Jiang. Fuck you, Inhumans. I really was like, wow, these guys are, like, perfect. Like, Sky could just stay here, stay safe. This is totally cool. Nope. Fuck them all to high hell. Complete 180. Ugh, disgusting. But, let's talk about the big questions that have been brought up here. Why is she not telling her that she's Sky's mother? Why did Sky know about Jiang but not, like, say anything about that? Why is he fine with all of this? It seems like he didn't know about Gordon, but he did know about her, so I guess he's only seen her when Gordon brought Jiang to our world. I'm just gonna keep saying it like that until we get a whatever the fuck it is, if we ever do. But yeah, I don't know. Lots of questions there. We'll get our answers as we always do. But what I assume is going on is they're Jiang and Gordon. Maybe Gordon's a part of it. Maybe, I mean, I don't know how big of a part of this he is, or if he's also just being used. But we'll say Jiang for right now. Jiang is using Cal to find Daisy, or she was. Well, to just specifically make sure that Sky was Daisy. Because she didn't want to go out there and do it herself, because I guess she was still scared of Whitehall and stuff like that. Like, so send out your husband who is mortal. But, you know, how do these two ever get together? Like, did she ever actually care about him? Why would she fuck him and have a baby? Like, Sky is her biological daughter, right? I would assume that has to mean they fucking. And they did fuck at some point. And they don't seem like they used to fuck. They seem like he's a prisoner. I mean, it seems like Stockholm Syndrome. He seems to just be completely wrapped around her finger. So, they meet after she has lived hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. Who knows? They meet. They fuck. They have a baby. They assumingly have a relationship. She was a doctor, but does that mean, like, was she actually a doctor, or is this what he meant? You know, I assumed that she made some actual money as a doctor or something. But he was as well. They were both doctors. But we saw that he was an actual doctor. And so, if he means they're both doctors, I assume he means they're both doctors. Either way, they meet, they fuck, they have a baby. The baby is born, then immediately, Jiang is taken by Whitehall, chopped apart, thrown out there. Cal goes, sees the body, says, oh no, my wife is dead, because of course you would think that looking at that. I don't know if Cal even knew that she was special in any way. And he feels like he wasn't strong enough in order to protect her and all that. So he then goes back and does a bunch of experiments with chemicals and makes himself stronger. It seemed like immediately in that moment he flipped out, but that can't be true. Because then, yeah, he felt like he wasn't strong enough. He went, experimented on himself with chemistry, gave himself these abilities, and then the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents came to get Whitehall. And, I mean, no, it couldn't have been those, because They were Carter and the Howling Commandos, and they're definitely not dead. So those could not have been the ones that fucking Cal ripped to pieces. So they came. Why did they come for the baby? Why did S.H.I.E.L.D. come for the baby then? If it wasn't all happening immediately as I thought, and it was more related to Whitehall, and the baby was just there, like, why do they know about the baby? That's a question that we haven't got answered yet then. I mean, we know a Superior called in 084, but why? Because, yeah, the 084 was the baby. Why did they know about that? The only person who should have known about Ji Yang was Whitehall, because Carter buried the whole place, essentially, and stuff, and released her. So I guess they knew about her, but I guess I was thinking that, like, because Carter didn't tell anybody else. Carter would know about her, but maybe someone else, Carter told somebody and some other S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. I don't know, but that's a big question there. How did they find out about the baby? Was it just through Ji Yang? Did she say something about the baby? I don't know. Then we have Cal. He, as I said, he made himself stronger. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agents come for the baby. He rips the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to shred because it's a bunch of fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. agents coming for his baby. Can't blame him. You know, the amount of shit that he's had to go through. His fucking wife dying and his baby dying, or then his baby being taken, all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents coming from him, and we're trying to make him out to be like a monster. Nothing he's done has been bad. He's just a father who's had his wife die and his baby taken. Then, I assume at some point, as he's going crazy, just mad, you know, insane, depressed, I don't think he didn't sound like he went around killing anybody. I'm not trying to say that. I just mean like he's just probably for a while went crazy, and then eventually Gordon and Ji Yang reached out to him. It was like, hey, yo, I'm alive. I regenerated. We need you to get the baby back. The baby we think is this girl. You're going to have to get her back some way because we can't fuck with S.H.I.E.L.D. So, because S.H.I.E.L.D. was whole S.H.I.E.L.D. at that point. And I mean, but even when S.H.I.E.L.D. as the baby S.H.I.E.L.D. it is now, they didn't try and get Skye back. And up until the very, very end, after she had already gone through transformation. But, yeah, so they're basically just completely using him. I imagine how, you know, ecstatic he must be seeing his wife alive again. So he's gonna just do everything she says, and that he's still kind of just doing what they say. And he's just being completely fucking wrapped around their finger. And I feel so bad for him. He's becoming like my favorite character in the show. He's the only sane man. He's the only one that's doing things. Like, again, he does things in a bad way, like how he did the Index people. But ultimately, he's probably the one who's the least in the wrong in the show, I would say. He's definitely the person who has done the least amount of harm. And them saying, like, oh, yeah, you fucked up our plans. You've done all this shit. It's like, well, what did you want him to do? What did he do wrong? What was he supposed to do? Like, I don't know what they expected him to do, which is not what he has been doing. Is what he has been doing not what they wanted to do? How else do they want him to go about it? I don't know. I don't know what they expect out of him. And why the fuck don't they just do it? They have a teleporting man. Go, grab her. Like, seriously, why couldn't they just go, grab her, test her, it's not the baby, put her back? I mean, I get it, that's fucked up, but they're clearly amoral, they don't give a shit. And yeah, so, oh no, Cal loses control of his temper. Okay, so? Like, again, this is a very Noche situation, in which they're like, oh no, he's got a bad temper. So? It's not like they get mad, but they don't do anything. Like, we don't lock bipolar people up in prison. That's just what Cal is. He's just a bipolar person with a lot of strength. And it's like, just because they have the strength, we can't just be throwing them in jail and killing them because they have the potential to do something. Again, as I've always said, like, Cal does not have more strength than a bodybuilder. He doesn't. But it's just that it's all built into this, like, very, you know, small frame. But he doesn't. It's a lot of these powered people are not much more dangerous than a just professional bodybuilder. You know, Noche was a little bit stronger than that, sure. But again, with both of Cal and Noche, they don't do anything. They just get mad, and then that's it. They just get mad. They don't do anything. They don't act on it. They can't. It's not that they can't control themselves. They just can't control their temper. And Noche is not even like he can't control his temper thing. He was just stupid. But yeah, Cal has specifically gone out of his way not to kill anybody innocent. Like, there's still the thing with Carla murdering the innocent guard, and I'm still mad about it. It feels like a kicked a dog situation. Like, I'm not sure why they killed that guy. It feels like just to give the villains a moment of being villainous, because otherwise I would have nothing to really pin on them. Like, the whole Angar thing. I made him sleep. It's no different than the icers. If we can ice innocent people like the guy we just did this fucking episode, then there's nothing wrong with what Angar did. Absolutely nothing wrong. You cannot justify what Coulson did this episode and then act like what Angar did was bad. They're either the same or they're both terrible. The scars all over Jiang's face are cool though. I gotta admit that. I do love the dynamic between Hunter and Coulson as well. It is a really nice dynamic. I like it. And having Hunter here to do the more crimey stuff. Yeah, I get it. But, fuck, man. It's just like, everybody in the show is terrible. It's terrible. And, I mean, that's what makes it fascinating. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I love Lost, and the entire point of Lost is that every single character is a complete asshole and lies with their teeth constantly. So I'm totally into that sort of thing. But I do feel like I have to constantly preface and be like, yeah, I know, I'm talking about the actor, I'm talking about the characters as people, not as characters. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, this is a bad character, you know. Some people have a problem realizing that. So, the lockbox found out was made out of vibranium. It's got like a bunch of fucking pores all over it and stuff because Fury is insane. So, you know, whatever is in this thing, we gotta open it. We gotta, like, 100% sure it's the location of all of Fury's bad babies. I mean, what else would it be? You know, I can't imagine it, like, it could just be another details of some project. But I do highly believe it's just the location of a bunch of bad babies, and Coulson is concerned about giving them the location of the bad babies, as I am, because they also are probably going to use them for some nefarious reasons, because, again, they have not said they're going to destroy them. He's just specifically said, we want to locate them. So I hope he wants to destroy them, but, yeah. Let's hope that's what the case is. Hashtag what would Tony do? And also, I just realized, if you don't know what I mean, you have no idea what the bad babies thing are, shame on you. Just watch all my MCU reactions and you'll understand. But yeah, so Afterlife was the name of this place. It is indeed a place further than China. So the Madame Gao is 100% inhuman, which is going even further into the fucking, like, yep, so they just are so immoral, they don't give a shit. I assume she also went through the whole transformation thing here. Who knows what her ability is? It seems to just be some sort of, like, force field or something, maybe? Like, pushing out energy, maybe? I don't know. It is interesting that there are so many blind people connected to the Inhumans in some way or another. Whether it be, you know, Gordon, very obviously, or Madame Gao having all the blind people, or the way they keep talking about how Gordon sees things is similar to the way that Stick could be seeing things. I don't know. Like, it's it's gonna be interesting if, like, the Inhumans are, you know, a near country level number of people. Like, if all those blind people are Inhumans, which that Gao has, which I highly doubt. I highly doubt it. But they could be doing a specific thing where a lot of them end up blind. And I mean, I don't think they've gone through the transformation anyway, though. The transition. I don't think they have done that, because obviously we know very little people have done it. So I assume that also means that Yet-Sin, that we learned of in that one flashback, didn't go through the transformation either. He was just a random doctor. But yeah, they're probably just worshiping Gao because of her powers and because of all that stuff. But yeah, it is interesting that it's all based off of like Chinese stuff. I wonder why that is. Like, did it all start in China, you know, when the Kree came? Did they all do it in China specifically? I mean, most of what we've known about this has all been in the fucking Hunan province of China specifically, which is why I kept calling the Chinese, special Chinese people, because it did seem to be specifically Chinese, but now we learn it's not. Lincoln, from the moment he started speaking, I didn't like him. I don't know why. It was the exact opposite of Gordon. As I was saying, like, sometimes when characters are speaking, they're saying things that are totally normal, but just the way they're saying them holds this tone that just sounds so untrustworthy and creepy, and that's exactly how I felt with Lincoln the whole time. He was just so creepy, and and as always, everybody around her is lying. Everybody lying. Nobody can tell the truth. But, you know, it makes for some interesting television for sure. So, my ideal world, ideal outcome for all this, is that somehow Skye finds Cal, they just fuck off together somewhere else, father and daughter, enjoying life, having a happy old time. I hope that Coulson becomes an agent. May is on the board. Get that dumbass asshole shooting a normal non-icer gun guy out of here. Kick his ass out. Weaver, I don't know enough about to really say anything about, but sure, she's fine, I guess. Bobby and Mac, weird to have on the board, I would say. To feel like they're just on the board because they were around during that day. But, sure, I guess. Again, I don't know enough about them to really trust them with a position that high, but I'll say sure for right now. Though I'm wary on that. But that's my fantasy land. That's my ideal. That's my dream. I know it's not going to happen. I think that Coulson's going to remain director. And my reactions are going to be pretty interesting to his character going forward. And, you know, I'm sure I'm going to get a hell of a lot of grief for this reaction, this discussion, but, what can you do? I mean, the fact that he's turned into Ward is like, I want to strangle him. I do not want to see Ward next episode. He's going to be so fucking cocky. He's going to be so like, oh, you're crawling back to me, Coulson. And none of this needs to happen. Just turn yourself in so we can actually deal with the fucking threat. Like, he's being like, oh, we can't deal with the threat. I gotta go deal with the threat. But no, if you just turned yourself in, we deal with the fucking lockbox. Go deal with Dr. List. We can deal with all this shit. Like, it's not going to be any better than you. I don't think that the Gonzalez's shield is any more confident than Coulson's shield is. But, so, like, you know, if they're both equal amounts of confidence, then let the less dangerous people do it. Let the people who don't have alien fucking blood do all this shit. Stab it, Coulson. Stab it. And Fitz, and Simmons at the end there. God damn it. I know why they're doing all this, but it's just like, fuck, guys, just please try and be logical. Please try and be logical about this. I'll see you guys for the next reaction. My poor boy Cal. Cal is gonna be my fucking favorite character in the MCU. I'm not sure about that. I don't think anybody's gonna beat out Tony or Steve. Those are my two big boys. I love my boys. But, you know, they're getting up there. Cal's getting up there. As I say, each episode he rises higher and higher. He rises almost an entire rank each fucking episode he appears. He's just so good. Kyle MacLachlan is a fucking amazing actor with him. Like, he's just every single emotion he nails perfectly. I'm so emotionally connected to Cal. And he's just gone through so much shit. He's the only person in the series who's done the least amount of bad. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here. I never thought I'd be rooting for a villain this hard. Especially Cal. When Cal's first introduced, man, I was like, oh yeah, look at this evil motherfucker.